again everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another speed build video in The Sims 4. Happy Monday, I hope you guys had the most amazing weekend ever and thank you so much for joining me here today. So today we are building in Evergreen Harbor and we're playing around with the new kit again, the Sims 4 Industrial Loft kit, and we decided to build this quirky lofted house, and it's been a really long time since I've done kind of a quirky house build on the channel, so I felt a little bit inspired to do one for today's video. If you follow me on Twitter and or Instagram, I'll put my socials on the screen for you now if you don't already, but you may have already seen that I posted that I was going to be posting a speed build today because it's bank holiday in the UK, and I had started working on a suburban family home, standard because I'm loving the family homes at the moment, especially the suburban sort of style. And then I kind of woke up this morning and had a change of heart. So the suburban house that you may have seen on my social media channels will be available as of this weekend coming. So we just decided to do this one instead, I think because I was wanting to try and use some of the new kit items within a house instead of an apartment. I'll also pop in the right hand corner of the screen right now the link for my industrial apartment speed build, which I posted on Saturday, I think it was. Yes, I had a lot of fun doing that. I really like the industrial style, and again, I'm just going back to I really wanted to try and do it in a house. So I thought Evergreen Harbor would be a perfect setting for a build like this, especially seeing as it's a little bit unique, it's a little bit odd, and I really like how it came out actually. And we just try a bunch of different things on the outside just because I was trying to work out just how unique and quirky I really wanted to make this house, and I do end up turning a little bit of it back. And I can't actually remember if I kept all of the changes within the footage, so you will have to bear with me. Nothing drastic changes if I haven't kept it in the footage, so don't panic. So yeah, we decided to use a lot of sort of these vines and the new crawling ivy from Cottage Living as well, just to give that build a little bit more character and a little bit more it's lived in. And yeah, it ends up being 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, so you can sleep up to 2 Sims in this house. I didn't really want to turn it into a family home just because that wasn't the vibe that it was giving off, but obviously if you want to use this as a house for a couple, I don't see why you couldn't extend it if you really wanted to and put some more bedrooms on. I don't think it would take too much at all. But what I do love about this house is on the interior, you'll see when we get in a few moments, you'll see that the bedroom is elevated and lofted, so your Sims can actually, not that they do, but you can look over the balcony of the bedroom and see down into the living room, and then the kitchen is tucked away underneath. So that was really important feature to me as well, because obviously with the new loft kit that's kind of what it was designed for. And I'm just having a think now, I use some of the new items from the new kit, but I didn't go mad just because, I don't know, I went really nuts on the apartment build one because obviously that was my first time using all the items. But given that this is a fairly small space, I obviously didn't have the space to use every single item in the kit, so I just use elements of it here and there. But it's a lofted build, it's got that industrial feel on the inside with the exposed brick, etc, etc. So as you can see, we're still working on the exterior. The exterior actually took me longer than the interior of the build, if you can believe it or not. I think I spent about 1 hour and 15 minutes on this house all in all. So it really didn't take me that long to do, and I don't tend to do small houses. And I even checked when I was uploading this to the gallery, I even checked to see if this would qualify as a tiny house. Unfortunately, it is over 100 tiles, so it does not qualify as a tiny house, even though when we get inside you'll see just how petite it really is. But I really like this house. I had a lot of fun doing it, and I really wanted it to sort of look, again, overgrown and a little bit unkempt, as it were. But then on the inside it's quite, you'll see when we get to the inside, I don't want to spoil anything. And then we even end up doing like a pool in the back garden, so it's just a really nice house. I really like how this one came out. So you'll just see me sort of going back and forth because it's such a unique shape and just a unique house in general. For the longest time I wasn't sure if I really liked it. So you'll just see me zooming out, pausing, and so that's just me thinking, do I even like this? Do I want to keep this as a build and put it up on the channel? And then the more I worked on it, the more things I tweaked, the more I sort of added to it or took away I just kept working on it, and I just stuck with it, and I was like, I actually really like this. I wouldn't say I'm in love with it as of yet, but I do like it. I think it came out really, really nicely. So you'll just see me adding obviously the mailbox, of course, and I cannot believe how long I actually spent on the exterior. And I think that's why, I mean, we end up going on to the interior in just a moment, and I'll show you how we do the floor plan and everything, because I've stopped removing me doing the floor plan from my speed builds. If you've been around for a while, you may notice that that's something that I've started incorporating into my speed builds, and that's because I'm getting a lot more confident with showing footage of me doing my floor plans. And I'm not the best floor planner in the world, but I try. I really do try, and it's my weak point. We've got to be honest here. We're all friends. It's my weak point. So I've started to keep it in the footage, because I have been told by many of you that you find it helpful if you're watching my speed builds to sort of learn a little bit more about how to build or whatever. So I'm keeping them in now because people have told me how useful they find it. So this is me, just speaking of floor plans. We are currently working on the floor plan on the inside of this house. As you can see, this is the lofted area here. This is not something that I play around with very often. I'm not too comfortable doing it, and there are plenty of people that do it a lot better than I do, but I gave it a really good go. So the downstairs toilet is the only toilet in the house, because as you can see, it's very small, especially with the lofted area upstairs. But again, I mean, don't get me wrong, I could have not made a lofted area and just done a regular second floor, but that's not what I wanted to go for with this build. I wanted to do the loft because that was kind of the whole point. So this is where we decided to put the kitchen, and I am a little bit upset that I had to cover up some of the windows, but it's okay. This house is full of them. I don't think it takes away from the build at all. And you'll see me struggling just a little bit with the kitchen and the counters in particular. So we actually end up using these base game counters, because I think most people who have done industrial builds use these counters. These are pretty much the go-to ones because they look very industrial. They look rustic. They look like they're kind of makeshifty. And so this is why we ended up using these here. I believe in my industrial apartment speed build. I'll also link it down in the description below if you missed the little tag on the right hand side just earlier on. But I think I used the counters from the Cool Kitchen stuff pack, because I just thought they worked really, really well, and I was trying to do something really quite unique with that one. With this one, I wanted to stay a little bit more traditional on the inside, because obviously the outside is quite unique and quite different, so I wanted to stay quite traditionally industrial on the inside of this one. So, and I ended up using this rug from the Nifty Knitting stuff pack, because your Sims can actually knit this in game, so I thought it gave that really nice element of the Sims that live here maybe make their own furniture sometimes, and I just really liked how it looked. So it's very, very grey, very dark, which isn't a colour scheme that I usually work with. I tend to throw in pops of colour, and with this house I stayed away from that actually. The living room has a little bit of colour in it, and the bedroom has some pops of like orange and blue, but as a general rule for this house, I wanted to keep things quite toned down and quite neutral. So I'm hoping we achieve that with this one. But I'm currently just cluttering up the kitchen and just adding some little bits here and there to make it look a little bit more sort of lived in. And I'm going to be honest, so these paintings that have just gone up here, I did not know they existed. I knew they existed, but I didn't know how to get them. And the reason for that is in the catalogue they appear as feathers. Who knew, right? You guys probably did, but I learned something today, so I decided to use these all around the house really. So anyway, this is the living room. It's very small, but it's functional. We use these base game sofas along with the rug from the new industrial loft kit, because this is my new favourite rug. My favourite rug up until this point was the one from Snowy Escape, like the fluffy one. And I still love that rug, but this has taken its place. I absolutely love the swatches that this comes in. I decided to use this one in this build. I believe in my in my industrial apartment build, I used this rug twice. One of them was the black, white and grey swatch, and the other one was like the bluey tone swatch. And I had no idea that this swatch even existed, and I love it so much. Like, look how nice that looks. So as you can see, we've put the TV from the Eco Lifestyle pack on the coffee table from Tiny Living because it is a small space, and I wanted you Sims to have a TV, and I really didn't go too nuts with the cluttering in this house. I think I kept it just right. It's got enough character, but it's not over the top. I have to appreciate that you guys probably play in these houses. I don't use them for playing. I build them, put them on my channel, showcase the screenshots across my social medias, and then I'll move on. But you guys might, more often than not, obviously you play in these houses, so I have to appreciate that they need to be workable. So what I ended up doing was I ended up thinking, okay, I'm still not in love with the exterior, so I popped back out. So we'll return to the interior in just a moment, but I popped back outside just to add some details here and there and try and decide really what I wanted to do with it. So you'll just see me changing my mind here and there, adding some terrain paint, thinking, okay, there's something not quite right. There's something not quite right with this. And I think we end up, yeah, so we put this like little barbecue area in here just with 2 seats. It's really nothing special. And then we put these planters in here from the Eco Lifestyle pack as well, so your Sims can plant their own shrubberies if they really want to. And then this balcony off the master bedroom here, I just end up putting 2 seats and then some plants from Snowy Escape, actually, I think. I'm pretty sure I used some from Snowy Escape just because I didn't really know what else to put in this little bump out here. I was like, there needs to be something, but I don't know what. So we end up landing on these plants and then using these sun lounges from Eco Lifestyle as well. We'll revisit the outside, but clearly I was just feeling inspired, so you'll have to bear with me with the yo-yoing around. This is the master, well, it's not a master bathroom, it's the bathroom, the main bathroom of the house. It's very small, it's functional, it has a shower, a toilet and a sink. Really nothing to say about this, to be completely honest, so it is what it is. So now we move on to the bedroom. I really like how this turned out actually, and this is the new bed from the new loft kit, and I love this swatch so much. I was like, okay, let's put a little bit of colour in this house because it's looking a little bit too neutrally, especially for me. So we end up using this swatch here. The end tables are from the new kit, and so is the wardrobe. I just think it looks really, really nice. I really like how this looks. I kept things, again, I go back to, I kept things relatively simple in this house because I really didn't think it needed to be over cluttered, or it is what it is. I just think it works really, really nicely. So that's the bedroom pretty much done. It didn't take me long whatsoever. And then we pop outside and then just start putting some finishing touches on. So I'll speak to you about the garden once we get there. But I put some artwork on the wall. I also put this rug from Snowy Escape down because the blue matched perfectly with the blue tones in the bed. Love that. So this is the back garden. Normally I don't put as much effort into my back gardens, but I just felt like this house was missing something, and so we ended up adding this really nice outdoor space. So there is a small pool, and then I ended up messing around with some of these fountains you'll see in just a moment. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even realize these were in the game. I had no idea we had anything like this, so I was like, this is a nice little touch. So we end up sort of like putting some foliage just around this water feature here and making it just a really nice relaxing space. I don't think necessarily that your Sims would use this pool to do any exercising in because it is very small, but they'd probably just pop themselves on the sun lounger and take in the rays and maybe enjoy a cocktail or whatever, because that's definitely what I would be using this for. So yes, this is just me going in and doing some landscaping, and we end up putting these bushes, I think they're from Island Living if I'm not mistaken. I think these are from Island Living. We end up just putting these behind the water feature because I was like, that looks really pretty, and it was just looking a little bit, I don't know, there was something missing with that. But anyway, I'm going to wrap things up because this was a very short and sweet speed build, but you can grab this house from the gallery. My origin ID, of course, is RachelPedd. Tray files, as always, are linked down in the description below. You can get them from SimFileShare. But thank you so much for joining me here today, everyone. You guys take care, and I will see you next time I post a video. Bye!